The Clockmaker's Secret. In a small, quiet town where the streets wound like a labyrinth of forgotten time, there lived an old clockmaker named Elias. His shop was tucked away in an alley, filled with countless ticking clocks of every size and design. Locals often whispered that Elias wasn't just a clockmaker, but a guardian of time itself. One evening, as the last golden rays of sunlight filtered through the dusty windows, a woman entered the shop. She was young with weary eyes that carried the weight of too many lost moments. "I've heard you can fix time," she said, her voice trembling. Elias looked up from his workbench, his hands steady despite his years. "Time cannot be fixed, my dear, but it can be understood." The woman frowned. "I've wasted so much of it. If I could just turn it back, fix my mistakes, then maybe I'd find peace." Elias nodded thoughtfully and gestured toward a peculiar clock on the shelf. Its face was unlike any other. No numbers, just a swirling pattern of stars and shadows. "Take this," he said. "But heed my warning. This clock doesn't turn back time. It reveals the truth of it." Desperate, the woman agreed. She cradled the clock in her hands and wound it gently. As the hands began to move, the shop around her dissolved, and she found herself standing in scenes from her past. First, she was a child, laughing in the summer sun, her parents' smiles wide and carefree. She reached out to touch them, but the image faded. Next, she was in her 20s, turning down an opportunity because fear whispered louder than ambition. Then she stood in the present, alone in her apartment, staring at a clock as if waiting for something to change. But the clock showed her more than just what had been. It showed her what she'd overlooked: the kindness of strangers, the quiet victories, the beauty in the ordinary. She saw that time hadn't been wasted. It had simply been unseen. When the vision ended, she was back in the shop. The clock in her hands was silent now. "What did you see?" Elias asked gently. Tears streamed down her face, but she was smiling. "I thought I needed to go back, but I see now. I just need to go forward, carrying the past with me." Elias nodded, a faint smile playing on his lips. "Time isn't meant to be perfect. It's meant to be lived." The woman left the shop, the clock still in her hands. But now, it was just an ordinary one. Yet she felt as though she had been given a gift far greater than turning back time. Elias returned to his bench, winding another clock. Somewhere, another soul would soon find their way to his shop, searching for the secrets of time. And so, the clockmaker kept his quiet vigil, mending not time itself, but the hearts of those who sought it. May your dreams be timeless and filled with wonder.